So one encouraging trend I've kind of noticed coming out of the fashion watch segment of the market is micro brands that are making actually good watches that are fashionable. And I think today's watch that we're going to take a look at from James and Muriel, it's called the TimeKeeper, really fits that description. It's a watch that has a really great kind of mass market appeal, but actually has some pretty good quality and materials that they've put into it, and it's just a great all-around watch. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, this is Dave. Welcome back to Just the Watch, and today we're taking a look at the TimeKeeper from James and Muriel. Now, James and Muriel are a new brand that just came out last year. They launched on Kickstarter, and like a lot of other brands out there, they're kind of targeting sort of the mass market. They're going after the same segment of the market that brands like MVMT and Daniel Wellington and a lot of these fashion watch brands are targeting. But unlike those brands, they're actually putting some pretty good quality components into their watches, and that's pretty impressive. So they're offering them at a comparable price, but you're getting basically better stats across the board. For instance, the most I think standout features of this one are it comes with a sapphire crystal, which is great. You're getting an Italian leather strap, which is a really cool upgrade from what you would typically find on watches in this price range. And then you're getting a Swiss Ronda quartz movement inside, so a slightly upgraded movement. And then just everything about it. It's got a really kind of fresh design that has a lot of fun colors and just a really bright, easy to wear sort of cross between like a minimalist watch and a field watch. And so I really like what they've done with the design. But it's very easy to wear, and it's coming out at a pretty decent price. I think you can get it for around $180 right now. It's still in their pre-order pricing, which I think is a pretty good deal for all that they're offering. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at this watch, check it out, and I'll show you some of the things I like about it and see what you guys think. This watch was given to me by James and Muriel for review purposes. I do get to keep it, so keep that in mind as you watch the review of this watch. Okay, I don't normally start with the packaging like this, but this time I thought they're giving you kind of some extras here, and I wanted to point those out because I think that's part of the package that you get. So it comes in this little watch roll, which is, it's made out of a fake leather. It's very, not very well built, and the strap is very flimsy. The buckle's not anything to write home about. So I wouldn't consider this like a big value added. It's definitely nicer than a watch box, and so I appreciate them having it. I have been using it, but it's obviously nothing like leather, and it doesn't feel like it's going to last particularly long time, but it gets the job done. But more importantly, what is cool is what's inside, and that's you're getting the watch here, but then they've also included a second strap. Both of these straps are quick release, and the watch has a 50 meters of water resistance and a sapphire crystal, and it's got kind of a field watch design. So I think that you can actually use this as either a field watch or a dress watch, depending on the strap that you put it on, and that's really cool. So that's one of my favorite features about this, is just the fact that they've kind of made it so versatile and then included kind of a sports strap with it to sort of give you that versatility right out of the box. And I think it's definitely the Italian leather strap is the star of the show. It's definitely the better of the two straps. But this is not bad. It's a two-piece full nylon strap. Doesn't have any leather backing on it, so it's completely waterproof, sweat-proof. So a really functional strap, and it matches with the colors on this as well. So it really plays nicely with the blue. It looks good on the strap. So I think that's kind of a really cool add-on. But let's go ahead and talk about the watch itself now. So you're getting a 41 millimeter diameter case, 45 millimeter lug to lug, 10 millimeter thickness, and 20 millimeter straps. And these are kind of those faux wire lugs. And you're getting quick release straps. So you take this off, you can see you can fit any spring bar in there, just standard spring bars. They're not actual wire lugs, which is very typical there. The watch is pretty much all dial, as you can see here. This is a no-date version, but they've done a really tasteful small second hand. which is kind of in orange, and then the minute and hour hands are in blue. Very bright colors, and that really stands out, and that color is, you know, kind of splashed across the dial as well. The dial itself is very busy with lots of numbers on it, but they're all very small and in a very simple font, so it has kind of a minimal design. It doesn't feel that overwhelming or that busy. But the dial design is very much inspired by a field watch. You're getting a 24-hour track on the middle, as you would typically get with a field watch, and then you're also getting hour markers, you know, for 12-hour markers, and then outside of that you've got a minute track as well. So you're getting all the markings for 24-hour, 12-hour, and minutes. And then on the second hand, you can see you're getting individual ticks for each second as well. And the second hand, it's a small second. This is a quartz, but I love getting like a small second on a quartz because that sort of masks the ticking a little bit. But this one actually, and this is maybe a little bit easier on a small second, but it hits every single mark, and I'm really impressed with it. Anytime I see a second hand quartz that's actually hitting the marks, that really makes me happy. So this one does that, so that's pretty cool as well. So, but what they've done with this dial, again, it's like you're getting the kind of the functionality of a field watch with the legibility and all of the detailed markings, but they've sort of toned it down and shrunk it to the point that it doesn't look like a field watch. It looks a lot more like a dress watch, and it wears kind of like a dress watch as well. Now, one thing that you're not getting from a traditional field watch, like a real functional field watch, is lume. There is no lume at all on this dial. So once it goes dark, you're losing all of that functionality. But again, I look at this more as like a dress watch primarily, a casual watch that can then function as like as a field watch if it needs to in a pinch. You're getting 50 meters of water resistance on this thing, which is not bad. I think for a field watch that's acceptable. Obviously, you typically would want more, but even Hamilton, a lot of their field watches come in at only 50 meters of water resistance. And so if you're actually using this like for hiking, even to the point where maybe if you had to cross a river or something like that, you'd probably be fine with this. But I wouldn't be like taking it to the beach to go swimming or something like that. Also, when it comes to visibility, it's pretty good. I haven't had much problems with like reflections or things like that. Generally, I can read the watch at a glance without any problem. For the hands, you're getting like really long, thin stick hands on both the hour, minute, and then the second as well. But they contrast very cleanly against the white dial, so they're very easy to pick out. Another nice touch is the crown. It's very detailed. You're getting a nice knurling on there within this kind of ring around the middle of it that sort of gives it some extra interest. And then it is a signed crown with their little logo there. The crown sticks out. It's very easy to grip and get a hold of. You can pop it out and set the watch without any trouble. This being a no-date model, you don't have to worry about AM, PM, or anything like that. It's a very simple time setting. So let's talk a little bit about the strap that they've included in this, because I think that's a really impressive part of this. This is something that you will rarely see on watches in this price range. Normally, you're going to get, almost any manufacturer is going to skimp on the watch band and either pour the rest into marketing or into the watch case itself. So it's very interesting to see a strap of this quality on a watch in this price range. So this is a Italian leather full grain strap, which is about as premium as you can get when it comes to straps. So to see this on a stock strap is very impressive. What that means is that you're going to get a very long-lasting strap here. It's going to be a lot more flexible. It's going to, not tend to crack or to peel or things like that. It should just wear very nicely as time goes on. This one, it's a very simple finish, and honestly, I was a little bit surprised when I heard that it was, full grain Italian leather. Because it's such a simple looking strap, at first glance, it doesn't look like anything special. And then particularly the backing, I think, is, also very plain, and again, doesn't necessarily feel like anything too unique. But when you get close to it and you do feel it after a while, you can really start to tell that this is a very nice piece of leather that they've put on here. And I do expect that this will last a long time. So I really like, I always like seeing a good strap on a watch. And this is actually the kind of strap that I've really been looking for. Like it's really hard to find a simple, high quality dress strap like this at a good price. So that they included this strap with this watch, I think is a great thing to have. Again, if you want to use this as a dress watch or something like that, this is going to be a great strap for it. And if you want to swap over to the nylon one, you can get some good wear out of it as well. Talk a little bit about the nylon strap. There's nothing too spectacular about this one other than I love the fact that this is not backed by leather. So this is a complete full nylon strap. It's fairly thick too. It's not like a typical NATO that's very thin. It feels like, similar to like a leather strap as far as how it wears, because it's this very stiff double layered nylon, which, is not quite as comfortable, but I think that'll be more durable. But the fact that it does not have the leather means that it's completely waterproof. So that's great, because that's, so often you see these straps that are like canvas or, nylon upper, but then they have a leather on the back, which means that, you've got to worry about sweat and water. And the whole reason you want a nylon strap, I would think, is so that you could get the thing wet and you don't have to worry about that. So I think that these are two really good straps. The nylon one, is not anything too special, but it's a really useful strap, I think, that they included. And the hardware on both straps is very solid, very well done. You're getting nice signed hardware as well. This the hardware on the nylon is very, very good. So overall, it's a really good kit that they've put together for this watch. I really like it. All right, let's talk the pros and cons of the TimeKeeper. For me, the biggest pro is just the overall design of the watch. I really like the colors that they chose. I love that small seconds implementation. And, some of the other ones particularly have even more striking colors. But this one, with the simple white dial, but then with the blue and orange accents, I think it really pops. So it's just a real clean, simple design, but it's also very fresh and fun at the same time. And I really enjoy having it on my wrist and being able to have that kind of fun design with it. The second thing that I really like about it is just the versatility of it. I mean, I think this is really designed to be sort of a one watch collection kind of watch, like the only watch that you ever need. And I think it really fits that bill well, especially with the kit that they've kind of included with this, because you're getting, what you're getting is basically a field watch design. The dial layout and everything is very classic field watch, but they've brushed over with the sort of minimalist look that will make it, really able to dress up and down according to what kind of strap you put it on. And the fact that they included like kind of a sporty waterproof nylon strap, and then also this really nice dressy full grain Italian leather strap. Those two straps, and this watch make it so that it can handle a pretty wide variety of activities. If you're outdoors and going about, you're still getting a sapphire crystal, and 50 meters of water resistance is going to give you enough toughness and durability, for some hiking and, even splashing around if you had to get in the water briefly for a little bit on it. And then just having the nylon strap is great for, handling sweat and all that kind of stuff. But then you can swap it over to this really nice Italian leather strap, and put it on, wear it with a suit, go out to dinner, wear it into the office or whatever. And, I think that it's got the build quality also to kind of hold up as a great everyday watch. So I really appreciate that about it. Moving on to the cons of the watch, I think the first one would be, on a very minor note, is the sort of finishing on the watch. Overall, it's pretty good, but just where the lugs connect to the case, and this is primarily only under the macro, but you can see the seams there. You can see a little bit of welding marks, and I would have hoped to see that just be a little bit smoother connection there. But other than that, I think overall the finishing is, fine for a watch of this, kind of caliber. The second con is the cost. At $180 for a quartz watch, there's a lot of competition out there. But I do think that this one it's not like a phenomenal value, but it is a good value. I think you're getting a fair price, and I think, it's definitely a much better value than anything you would get from other fashion watch brands. I think it compares favorably as far as like the quality and the components that you would get to, some watches from like Seiko and maybe, some Swiss companies and things like that. But you're getting, a watch that is most likely, manufactured in China. So not getting quite the same level of manufacturing that you would get from a Japanese or Swiss watch. But you are getting, again, that sapphire crystal, that Italian leather strap, the extra strap that's thrown in. So they're throwing a lot of extras at you to kind of justify that price a little bit more. But again, there's a lot of competition in this price range. But if this is a watch that, if you like the design, if you like the idea of this kind of one watch sort of watch, I don't think I wouldn't have any hesitation of getting it at that price range if it's something that you're really drawn to. Yeah, but in conclusion, I really enjoyed the watch. I think it's a really fun design. I think it's really easy to wear, really comfortable on the wrist, and extremely versatile. And I think this kind of thing is great to have something like this in your collection, to kind of have this watch that can kind of fill a lot of gaps. You'll get a lot of use out of it. And if this is the only watch that you own, I think that it's going to have you covered for most of the situations that you're going to get. So yeah, I think that James and Muriel is kind of onto something with this watch. I think it's a great first offering from them. Curious to see if they've got anything else in the works and what's going to be coming up next. But that will wrap it up for the review for today. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this watch? Do you like the idea of a kind of one watch collection sort of watch? Do you think it fits the bill for that? Let me know what you think, and we will wrap up the review for today. We'll talk to you later. Bye.